Salutations, my friends. Eric Andreas, YourGuitarSage here, and today I want to ask you a few questions in regards to picking, right? When you're picking, do you find that the pick seems to get stuck either above or below a particular string? Or when you're strumming a chord that sometimes you miss a string or two, or you hit too many strings? Or when you're picking, do you find that the pick wants to come out of your hand, fall on the floor, fall into the sound hole, do that whole routine? Or is the pick just generally awkward in your hands? Do you find it to be strange or foreign or alien and you just want to use your thumb? Well, guess what, my friends? Today I'm going to show you how to simply fix all your picking frustrations with a very small series here, a 4-part series, but we're going to whip through these really quickly, okay? So let's talk about this in this first series here. What it is that why are we doing this? Well, first off, picking is at least 50%, right? You got your left hand, you got your right hand, you're picking, right? Now, I say at least 50%, why is that? Well, if I get on stage and I've got the fretting hand of God and I'm just, you know, shredding along here, but my picking is out of sync or it's just something's not right about it, no one in the audience is going to remember that, boy, his fretting hand was doing great while his picking hand was off. It's going to sound bad. That's all they're getting from it, okay? So you could say it's kind of 100% at this point. We got to have our fretting hand down. We got to have our picking hand down, okay? So let's talk about a couple things that we really need to look at in regards to this first video, okay? So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the pick, okay? So I have several different types of picks, and in regards to the picks, they need to be, in the beginning, at least a medium or slightly thinner than that, okay? So what I mean by slightly thinner is like a 0.60 millimeters. If it doesn't say exactly what the thickness is, then oftentimes just getting a medium pick is going to be great. Thin or thin type picks, when it says thin on it, like a fender thin, it's going to be a little too, the gauge is a little too small, and you're not going to get the proper volume, and it's just not going to work out the same as a medium will. A thick pick, or heavy, is going to be a little heavy for you. So if you can, for these exercises, if you can use a medium-sized pick, that would be great. If not, use what you got, no problem, let's keep going, okay? So for this first video, really the only thing I wanna do is talk to you about approaching the strings. Now you may say to yourself, Eric, why would you do such a simple video on picking? Well, a monkey can grab a pick and just hit the strings, right? Yes, of course, but we're talking about way more than that, okay? My child could probably hold a scalpel, my 10-month-old baby could hold a scalpel, but I don't think you want him doing brain surgery on you. Same thing with me. I could hold the scalpel, but there's a little bit more to know than just holding a pick and just smacking at the strings, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Now, in regards to how to approach the strings, what I want you to do only for this first lesson is I want you to mute the strings with your fretting hand. Just lay your hand on the strings as light as a feather. And really the only thing I want you to do for a bit is to grab whatever pick that you have and just like lightly hit the strings. You could either do like a slow kind of arpeggio type of bit, or you could strum at them, or you could hit one string at a time. But the point here is to really just get familiar with it, okay? I use a lot of analogies. I'll go back to my son again, who's 10 months old. He picks up a spoon and he's all over the place. He's hitting his eye, he's hitting his ear, it's all over the place. So we have to just get accustomed to doing things, okay? And using a pick right in the beginning is going to feel awkward, so just having it in your hand is a great thing to do. I suggest to new students to always bring a pick with you. Always keep it in your hands if you're walking around, if you're driving, if you're whatever. Just walk with it in your hand and get it familiar that you're not going to drop it. That's number one, okay? Number two would be, when you're approaching the strings, what you want to do is you want to approach them at least when you're picking individual notes, at an angle, a bit of an angle. And so a 45-degree angle. So if we're looking at the guitar like this, instead of straight up and down, you're going to be doing it more from this, like this method, okay? Now I'm over-exaggerating here, but like if I'm picking this first string here, you can see I'm going to do an exaggerated version of it. I'm picking my hand up. And it's kind of hitting the strings at about a 45-degree angle. That's the only other thing really that we need to talk about in this video, whereas in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an exercise that many guitar teachers overlook, and it is the #1 thing that's going to make your picking better. It's called the pick rest, and we're going to talk about it in the next video. All right, my friends? Hey, you know I'm on Twitter and I'm on Facebook and all those fun places to hang out? Sure I am. So I want you to join me there, as well as I have a 30 free lessons series at YourGuitarSage.com/30. Okay? In this series, this is the first 30 lessons that I teach all my students in Nashville. It's going to teach all the basics, the foundation, and it's absolutely invaluable. So make sure you check that out. And if you like this video, please hit thumbs up, hit subscribe, share with your friends, and I would love to hear from you. So leave your comments and feedback below. What issues are you having with strumming? As always, my friends, please spay and neuter your animals, be kind to one another, play lots of guitar, and don't trust the man. I'll see ya.